Good evening and welcome everyone. Thank you for coming to the Seeds of Literacy Trivia Night. If you're like me over 40, I would encourage you to have your reading glasses and a calculator handy. I hope you paid attention to the slides that played before we started because I'll have some important clues to the game that you're about to play. And speaking of games, there will be 3 rounds of Kahoot that you'll play tonight. And along the way, you'll meet Desiree, a Seeds grad, and Maya and Brian, 2 of Seeds of Literacy's amazing tutors. So get ready, get set, and good luck.
So I went from elementary, I did fine. Middle school, did fine. High school, I dropped out my second year in 9th grade. I was more like class clown, didn't pay attention, but I was also on the slower side. So I wasn't advanced with the other kids. I didn't, you know what I mean? Like I didn't catch on. I had to have one-on-one with a person that could actually break everything down to me. You know, I'm 29, so me being in high school, I was supposed to graduate 2010. Here we are, 2021, and you know, I'm finally making it just on a high school level, working my way into college. So back in high school, they didn't care. You know, they're just, hey, it's another kid not coming to school. We're not going to check up. We're not going to, you know, get involved, call parents, what's going on. They didn't care about it. So it was just another student lost in the school system. I didn't have nobody to motivate me. I had no family that, you know, consistently like, hey, go back to school, do this, do that, you know, you're going to become something. I didn't have that. You know, I was raised with my grandparents. My grandfather passed away in 2011. So that was just, you know, it was like a father to me. My grandmother, she's like, you know, you do what you want. You know what I mean? I don't have responsibility over you no more. Do what you want to do. And now that I'm where I'm at, I'm proud of you. You did it. But where was that motivation prior? And my sister got pregnant in college. So I ended up staying home, raising the baby. She graduated. And I'm like, okay, so what am I doing with myself? I'm helping everybody else out with their kids, with their household. But who's looking out for me? Who's motivating me to get up and go and make something of myself? So I kind of just called up here and I got involved and I'm like, you know, when can I come in for registration? Monday and Tuesdays. Come in for registration on Monday, orientation, test assessment Tuesdays. Cool. I came up in here 2014, I believe, 2013, 2014, not knowing what it was going to be, not knowing if it was going to be a classroom with actual, you know, a whole bunch of kids in here, if it was going to be hands-on, a tutor per kid, or if I had to advance into it. So when I would come in here, I'd sit at the far tables. I always went to the far tables, either this side or that side, and I just sat there by myself. I had headphones on, or I had the music playing in my ear, but I would start it off, and Chris was here. That's how long I've been coming. And I would sit there and I'd do my work, and I always got questions. Do you need help? Do you need somebody to help you? Are you doing okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm good. You know, keep it going. So I sat there for 2 hours. I kept going. I came my entire pregnancy with my second son, all the way until April. I went into labor with him April 22nd, and I became a single parent at that point. So I was by myself with my oldest son and my second son for the first 6 months. I tried to keep involved. I would get the, you know, the letters, the cards from the Seeds. Hey, come back. We miss you. What's going on? I'm like, cool. You know, they're checking up on me. They're calling me. You know, they're sending letters to my grandma's house. Like, you know, come back. You know, we miss you. All right, excited. So I ended up coming back when I got them in daycare. I was able to come back. I was able to transport. I was on 93rd and Madison. So I was driving. I was coming. If I had to take the bus, I was coming. No matter what, I was trying to come. Then, you know, life happened. I ended up moving out of my house. I ended up getting another house. And time happened. Months went by. and I just got distracted. I had to work. I was the only income in the house. So here I am, being a single parent of 3 kids, not just 2, working, you know, losing house to house, car to car, job to job, daycare. Like, it was just a hassle. So, you know, I just had to get motivated, but in the school systems, they don't do that for you. Coming here, I came back so many times because it worked with my schedule. It was 2 hours. 2019, I was a volunteer at my son's school on the east side. I became a parent volunteer. I became in there. I was working hands-on with the kids. While they was in class, I'm in the cafeteria or in the library doing English papers, writing on essays, how to do paragraphs, how to do all this stuff. Did social studies and science for like 2-3 months. Sitting there doing that at home, studying from morning to night. The kids are doing homeschool at this point. The pandemic's going on. They get sent home. Going on about it. You know, so I'd sit there, but I'd go from the east side to the west side. I lived on the west side. They went to school on the east side. Took the rapid every day with all 5 kids at this point. Took the rapid every day, 6 o'clock in the morning, walking out. Got my school, got my work, got my packets in my book bag, my pencils, ready to go, dropped the kids off, and I just stayed at the school. With the tutors, my last tutor kind of just accepted the fact that I had kids at home. That, you know, it was hard for me. I'm sleepless days. I'm falling asleep on camera because I'm just like, I'm tired, I'm drained. But the person didn't give up. Listen, get some sleep. I'll catch you later. You know, we got this. Do this on your own time. And then when we get back on class, I'm going to question you about it. And she pushed me. She challenged me. And I needed that. I needed that motivation. When I would get the emails, the phone calls, what's going on? Get on class. What's going on? No, no, I got this. And I appreciate that, and I respect it so much because you don't find many people that will reach out and consistently be on you about getting yourself better in your future. So it was just a blessing in disguise, and I kind of just, damn, I'm being reached out at. You know, get on this, get on class, you're going to need the help. And I went for it, and, you know, I did it. When I got the phone call saying that I passed my last test, it was my last one before I had to wait 2 months. If I failed it, it was over with. I was going to give up. I was like, no, I'm done. But I didn't. And when I got the call, I was like, man, he's calling me. What's going on? I got that call. We're sitting in the gas station. It's just me here and the kids. And I get the call, and I'm like, you better be calling and tell me I passed. Well, I am. What? And I just kind of got quiet. And I just cried. I just let it out. I didn't like be the sound noise, but the tears just flowed. My sister's on the phone on 3-way, and she started screaming, and she got quiet. She started crying with me, and I'm like, I did it. I am done for the first one. You know, there's plenty more to go with college. So I'm in Tri-C. I start full-time college classes June 1st, starting summer. I originally was doing early childhood development, but that's not what I was doing. I'm not teaching kids. So I switched my major, and I'm doing social work, applied associate of arts is what I'm doing. And that's the 2-year course for my degree. I mean, that's what I'm going for. I want to do work with kids. Like, I want to do the foster system. I want to do DH centers, the kids that are in, you know, detention centers and group homes and whatnot. But I also, in the meantime, before I can get there, I got to do college classes. I got to get my associate degree. Like, you know, I want to work with people that need the help, that, you know, don't have nobody, don't have no family to do it. So that's what I'm kind of going for now.
Hi, My name is Maya Malhotra, and I've been a tutor at Seeds for about 2.5 years.
Hello, my name is Burtch. I've been a Seeds of Literacy tutor since 2003.
I know what brought me into Seeds was a friend suggested that I help out with tutoring, and it was something right up my alley because I'd been doing math intervention in my job. So I decided that was the best thing to do for me.
Sure.
And it would help some students, hopefully.
Yeah, I guess at first, it was really the first volunteer type of assignment I had done, and I didn't really know what to expect. And, academically, it's like, it's been a long time since I've been at school. I remember taking many math packets home so that I could, bone up on that stuff and be able to interpret it to others. And I think it seemed to work. And since so much of what we do is math, kind of got in the comfort zone, and then I could try to get the students in that same comfort zone with math and try to make it as painless as possible.
I was a bit apprehensive of teaching the older kids because I always taught elementary school, higher grades in elementary school, but the math just seemed to come back. So I did do a lot of practice questions and look at a packet, and I said, I think I can handle this.
And in a way, I think that can be beneficial if you have to relearn maybe a higher level math that isn't that hard, and you learned it once, but it was so long ago, and you don't put it into practice. But whatever clicks for you as you relearn it, you think, wait a minute, if I can kind of pass that viewpoint on to the student, it'll click for them. And I think that can be a benefit as well.
Because I did math intervention, I was not too worried about teaching the maths, but it was just the more higher level concepts that was a little, concerning is the word, but nothing that I couldn't handle the end.
Well, unlike you, I didn't really have a background in education at all, and just a kind of a regular job that wasn't rewarding. So this was something, and as I've done it, I thought, oh man, I should have been a teacher. This is such a good feeling to help people and that sort of thing. So yeah, and again, it makes you appreciate this as a volunteer opportunity that, man, I'm not going to give this up. If it's virtual, that's fine, whatever it takes, because, not to be selfish about it, but I think I need this more than they need me. Sometimes I feel that way.
Yeah, I remember telling some of the students that I'm more excited when you get something, the concept of something, rather than you. It's one way to do things, but make you feel that you're making a difference.
And that's great for the students to see that in a tutor.
Right.
It probably motivates them more, and they might think well, I can't let him or her down. I got to work harder and make them proud.
Believing that they have that knowledge sometimes helps them to be able to be more successful in what they do.
Sure, and I guess the analytical and reasoning skills that you need in a math word problem could translate into the other language arts and science and math as well. I know one thing that correlates is charts and graphs. You probably have in every single subject,
oh, yes.
Maybe even less so in math, but there are some, and again, that's all interrelated. So that's kind of a neat way that the different areas of study interact. One thing that's probably good to bring up, and one thing that I like, and of course keeps me here all this time, our students are motivated. They don't have to be here like a traditional school setting, plus those are kids, but these are adults, whether they're street smart or whatever kind of life experience they have, and they want to be here. So, I think it really makes it easier for the tutors, certainly, but and then to see them succeed, boy, that's a great feeling.
Oh yeah, that's very exciting. I have this young lady who I'm tutoring, and she has little children, and she still comes in. I am so impressed with her motivation to get the GED and get done and get jobs, and it really makes me feel like helping her even more, because she's so dedicated to what she's trying to do.
Right, it's a big step, and for someone like that, there's no telling how far they can go if they got the motivation for this. And this might be a difficult first step. After that, junior college, full college, whatever they decide to do, they should be ready.
And that's what makes me keep wanting to come back and tutor. And with the pandemic, we've done it virtually, and that has really been very exciting because students can come to the tutoring sessions more often. Otherwise, they have these things of commuting and childcare, and so I think the virtual sessions have really helped.
I'm very impressed with Seeds being able to make lemonade out of lemons. I mean, a year ago I thought, oh wow, we're not going to the classroom. They're going to try this virtual thing. How's it going to go? And it's certainly done well, and so well that I understand they'll continue to do it after we do get back in the classroom, hopefully later this year.
Oh, I think so. They need a huge shout out because there are programs that I used to volunteer with that have kind of dwindled down. And so Seeds has continued. That's very impressive. They've worked with the tutors and they've worked with the students to get everybody motivated to continue. And I've definitely enjoyed doing that. So.
Same here.
I do use some of the techniques that my teachers taught. And the thing that I don't use is when teachers want to tell you, learn it by rote. That does not help because if you don't understand something, and math can be understood, it's just learning why it's done. And so I do not like the learning by rote at all. So initially when for example, when you're learning your mathematical tables, you draw pictures and show them how it's done. And then you learn it by rote. So they should understand the idea behind it. Similarly, for the students in the GED classes, it's similar. Everything you have to understand why it's happening. Math is very logical. It's a little harder in language arts and history and science. So.
I totally agree with that. The memorization that I remember having to do, whether it was the Gettysburg Address or whatever in school, that's a good thing about the GED. Just getting away from math for a second, like history and science, it's just not a lot of memorization of dates and that sort of thing. So much of it is reading comprehension. You'll read the passage, and they'll ask you a question. You have to have good logical skills and reasoning, but not the memorization. And then switching back to math, which is so much of what we do. I remember the first time I found out that when you take the GED, you're given a page of the formulas, so you don't have to memorize them. Wow. And I love telling students that. I can remember the look in their eye when the ones that didn't know that. I don't have to memorize these, volume and area equations, that sort of thing.
Since I was a stay-at-home mom for a certain amount of time, I used to help out in the schools. So volunteering showed me that a lot of people need a little bit of help, and it became second nature to go in and say, can I help with something? And so this was a great opportunity for me to help out with something that I could really do, not just what they need in elementary school, but in an older setting where you can help a person become successful in their vocation, their chosen vocation, just to get over that first initial step of a GED.
Right. I don't know, I guess I was at a point in my life where I had a little bit of free time and looking for a good volunteer opportunity. And I don't really have a background in education. I remember helping my son with high school math, and that went pretty well. So, and it's been incredibly rewarding. So I picked the right volunteer opportunity, I think.
I think so too. It's very rewarding, as you said. It's true.
We'd like to congratulate not only our winner, but all of you who played along. All of your contributions make these amazing stories possible. Thank you so much for participating. And now a word from Bonnie.
I'd also like to thank everybody for participating tonight and learning a little bit more about Seeds of Literacy. It has been a challenging year for everybody, including Seeds of Literacy. We have not been able to serve our students in our physical classroom. Fortunately, we have been able to serve our students remotely in our new virtual classroom. I appreciate you as donors and volunteers. Thank you for allowing us to continue to serve our students in the unique educational model that we are known for. Thank you again. Have a great night, and we wish everybody well.